If this is your first time of visiting my channel, please kindly subscribe to this channel before we begin. Once upon a time, in the heart of Umuagu village, there lived a man called Easy the Hunter. Eze was strong and brave, but he was known as the Wicked Hunter. He hunted animals not for food or protection, but for fun. Many animals in the forest feared him, and even the villagers whispered about his cruelty. One day, Eze went deep into the forest. He carried his sharp spear and a big bag to carry his catch. The forest was quiet, with birds chirping softly and leaves rustling in the breeze. But as soon as Eze stepped into the forest, the animals scattered in fear. They knew what he had come to do. Among the animals in the forest was Nkem the antelope. Nkem was fast and clever, but she was also kind. She warned the other animals whenever Eze was near. That morning, Nkem gathered the animals and said, "We must stop Eze. He is destroying our home and taking our friends." The animals murmured in agreement, but they were scared. Who could stop a hunter as powerful as Eze? Nkem said, "If we work together, we can trick him. We must be brave." Eze walked through the forest, looking for animals to hunt. He saw a bush shaking and quickly threw his spear. But when he checked, there was no animal, only leaves. Easy frowned and muttered, "Where are all the animals today?" Nkem had set a trap for Easy. She had gathered some monkeys, who swung from tree to tree, making noise and shaking branches. Easy followed the noise, thinking he had found a big catch. But the monkeys were too fast for him, and they disappeared into the trees. Easy grew angry. "I will catch something today, no matter what," he shouted. As he walked further, he saw a shiny object on the ground. It was a golden bracelet. As his eyes lit up, "This must belong to someone rich," he said. He bent down to pick it up, not knowing it was another trap. The bracelet was tied to a vine. When Eze pulled it, a large net fell from the trees and trapped him. The animals had worked together to set the net. As Eze struggled, the animals came out of their hiding places. There were antelopes, monkeys, birds, and even small squirrels. Nkem stepped forward and said, "Easy, you have hunted us for too long. Today, we have caught you. Why do you kill us when you don't need to?" Easy was shocked. He had never thought about how the animals felt. But he was also angry. "I am the hunter," he said. "It is my job to hunt." Nkem shook her head. "It is not your job to destroy. The forest is our home. If you keep killing us, one day there will be no animals left. What will you hunt then?" Eze paused. He had never thought about that. He looked around and saw the animals staring at him, not with fear, but with determination. "If you let me go, I promise to change," he said. "I will not hunt for fun anymore." The animals whispered among themselves. Some wanted to punish Eze, but Nkem said, "We must give him a chance. If he breaks his promise, we will deal with him again." The animals agreed and cut the net. Easy stood up, brushing off the leaves. He looked at the animals and said, "Thank you. I will not forget this day." From that day on, Eze became a different man. He only hunted when the villagers needed food. He also began planting trees and taking care of the forest. The villagers noticed the change and stopped calling him the Wicked Hunter. Instead, they called him Ease the Kind. The animals, too, lived in peace. Nkem and her friends continued to watch over the forest, but they no longer had to hide in fear. The forest became alive again with the sounds of happy animals. One day, Eze met Nkem in the forest. He said, "Thank you for teaching me a lesson. I now understand that the forest is not just mine, but ours. Nkem smiled and said, "We are all part of the same world. When we protect each other, we all thrive." From then on, Aze and the animals worked together to keep the forest safe. And the story of how the wicked hunter changed his ways was told for generations. The children of Umuagu learned to respect nature, and the forest remained a beautiful, peaceful place. And so, the once wicked hunter became a hero, not by his strength, but by his kindness and understanding. And the forest lived happily ever after.